Shabbat Shalom, Israel. Peace to the 12 tribes. Peace to my brothers and sisters of the faith that has been scattered in the land of their captivities. Peace to the Limba tribe that's in the land of Israelis that are suffering persecution, are being housed in prisons, are being killed for the fact that they are one of the 12 tribes. Just like we are suffering here in this land of America, we have brothers that try to go to Israel and are suffering at the hands of their persecutioners as we speak. What I want to ask you is, you have eyes to see and ears to hear that it's the same law today that was given to us in the past at Mount Sinai. So with that, there's no other better place to start than the words of Yeshaya. So Yeshaya tells us in the gospel, Matthew chapter 13, verses 10 through 17. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath it, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whoever have not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they are seeing, see not, in hearing, they hear not, neither do they understand. In them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For these people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. So that's the words from Yeshaya. I was reading of the gospel, Matthew 10. That was reading of the gospel, Matthew 13, verses 10 through 17. And they asked Yeshaya, why did he speak to other folks in parables? Some could be Israel, some could be Gentiles, but why are you speaking to them in parables? Because he spoke to them differently. And he told them that the kingdom was given to those disciples, to those brothers and sisters of Israel that want to keep those commandments. And to others, that's not the case. And he said they can't see and they can't hear. But what can't they see? And what can't they hear? We have so many brothers and sisters now that if you come around, they say, I'm woken up. I'm awoke. I'm Israel. I know I'm Israel. I've been put in slave. We came over here in slave ship. I'm Israel. But that's the same thing they knew at Mount Sinai. And that profited them none. So what are we supposed to see And what are we posted here? So, we're going to look back at the law. Deuteronomy 29, verses 1 through 9. And when we go back in this law, to understand that this law was written for every day, not just one day, but every day that you're above ground. That law is still what has dominion over you. And one day, every nation, every government, every demon, every false prophet, every angel will see Yeshua come in glorious glory and establish his law here on this kingdom, on this world, and they'll never change again. They'll always be here. So you need to be keeping that today. But so we can have eyes to see and ears to hear, Deuteronomy chapter 29, verses 1 through 9. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, beside the covenant which he made with them in Horeb. And Moses called unto all Israel and said unto them, Ye have seen all that the Lord did before your eyes in the land of Egypt unto Pharaoh and unto all his servants and unto his land. The great temptations which thine eyes have seen, the signs and those great miracles. Yet the Lord hath not given you a heart to perceive, and eyes to see, and ears to hear unto this day. And I have led you 40 years in the wilderness. Your clothes are not waxen old upon you, and thy shoe is not waxen old upon thy feet. Ye have not eaten bread, neither have drunken wine or strong drink, that ye may know that I am the Lord your God. And when they came unto this place, Shiloh, the king of Heshbon, and Og, the king of Bashan, came out against us unto battle, and we smote them. And we took their land, and gave it for an inheritance unto the Reubenites, unto the Gadites, and to the half tribe of Manasseh. Keep therefore the words of this covenant, and do them, that ye may prosper in all that ye do. So, going back to all the way back to Moses and all the things that happened to Egypt and the wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, and yet they still could not see, did not have the heart to perceive what he was doing, all the glory. Think about it like this. Their clothes didn't even get old. Their shoes didn't wear down. What clothing line you know, they'll even try to make the boast that your clothes will last 40 years. That your t-shirt won't fall apart. That it wouldn't lose its thread. Would Nike tell you can have a pair of shoes 40 years? How about some Stacey Adams? See, the glory of the Most High, it kept them perfect. 40 years, your waistline explodes. But when they're in that wilderness, they didn't have no worries upon that. But yet, they didn't have eyes to see and ears to hear. That's the reason why you can see in the Hebrew letter, chapter 3, going from verse 16 all the way to chapter 4 to verse 10, that It tells you don't fall like the ones in the wilderness did, because they wouldn't even keep the Sabbath day. So here we see this in the law. Also in Leviticus 19, it tells you, don't be an obstacle for the deaf. Don't be a stumbling block to the blind. For those that can't hear, and those that can't see. But here in the wilderness, all the great miracles, all the great signs that he did, they still would not hear and see. What Sharahiah was saying. But here we in these days, are you hearing? Are you seeing what Yeshaya is telling you? What the law has shown you? Don't listen to me. I am a humble servant. I want to do the will of my Father, and he tells me to keep reading. So with that, we're going to go to Psalm, one of the prophets, 119, verses 1 through 18. And right now, we have heard from Yeshaya. He's seen in the law, Deuteronomy as well as Leviticus. Now we're going to look at a prophet. Psalms 119, 1 through 18. Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies and seek him with the whole heart. They also do no iniquity. They walk in his ways. Thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently. Oh, that my ways were directed to keep thy statutes. Then shall I not be ashamed when I have respect unto all thy commandments. I will praise thee with uprightness of heart, when I shall have learned thy righteous judgments. I will keep thy statutes. I will forsake me not utterly. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. With my whole heart have I sought thee. O let me not wander from thy commandments. Thy word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee. Blessed art thou, O Lord. Teach me thy statutes. With my lips I have declared all the judgments of thy mouth. I have rejoiced in the way of thy testimonies as much as in all riches. I will meditate in thy precepts and have respect unto thy ways. I will delight myself in thy statutes. I will not forget thy word. Deal bountifully with thy servant, that I may live and keep thy word. Open thou my eyes, that I may behold wondrous things out of thy law. So we read this, such beautiful words from the prophets, but we end on the 18th verse when he tells you to open my eyes that I may behold the wondrous things out of thy law. So Yeshaya said he gave us some things. Those for us, the disciples, the apostles, for us to know, for us to inherit this kingdom, to understand that heaven will be made here for us. Can you see the law? Can you see the commandments? Do you know what's going on this planet around you? Do you understand that the Father's law has dominion over you, your household, over this government? Do you understand the adversary, what he's doing to attack the law? Do you understand that it's not enough that you know that you're Israel? It's not enough that you know that Yeshua was a black man? That's not enough. Do you have that relationship with the law? Is it inside of your parts, into your very marrow, the same way that David is talking about it right here? Are you keeping his statutes? Are you seeking his precepts diligently? You should know all of the law. What is more important for you to do? Watch Desperate Housewives? To watch a football game? To watch the TV show of the week? To watch a movie coming out when you know that the adversary, that Satan is over this government and he's attacking you daily? What is more important for you to do? Do you have eyes to see what's going on around you? How Israel is being perished. How you're still in the land of your captivity. How death is being placed upon you. Do you have eyes to see these things? Do you have ears to hear what the government is saying? Woe. Woe to the children of Israel. If you're not perceiving, you're not listening what the Ruach is saying unto you. But there's more for us to do. There's more for us to study. So we're going to look at another prophet. We're going to go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 5, verses 20 through 23. Declare this in the house of Jacob and publish it in Judah, saying, hear now this, O foolish people, without understanding, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. Fear ye not me, saith the Lord? Will ye not tremble at my presence, which I have placed in the sand for beyond the sea, by a perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it, and though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail? Though they roar, yet they cannot pass over it. But this people have a revolting and a rebellious heart. They have revolted and gone. Is this you, Israel? Is this our people nowadays? Are we so foolish still? We know in Jeremiah what happened to Israel here. The Babylonians came and took them and they went to the land of captivity, praying to false gods, keeping Christmas, keeping Easter, have no way of the heathen. We see that in Jeremiah 10. But yet they did, and yet we still do. Do you not have eyes to see that that's leading you astray? Do you not have ears to hear what the Ruach is saying to you? Do you not see what this nation is doing to your people? That your daughters being turned into prostitutes. That your sons being turned into faggots, homosexuals. Do you not see that they're killing you while you're still in the womb? Do you not see that the law says don't tattoo your body? Don't put things on your face. Don't you see all the metal on people's noses, on their lips, the big rings coming out their ears? Do you not see the tattoos on the face, on the skull? Do you not see the twisting of the bodies? Do you not see the twisting of the minds being turned over to a reprobate mind? Do we not know that the law is still here with us, that the Spirit, the Comforter, is still here with us, that we are supposed to be making a way for Yeshua to return? Or do we not have eyes to see or ears to hear? It's unfortunate, Israel. It's unfortunate that we're in the land of our captivity and we still turn ourselves over to such foolish things. We're going to look at another prophet. And here we're going to go from old to new. We'll go to old covenant to new covenant. We'll go back and forth, to and fro. Why? To show you there is nothing new, there's not changed. That the law that the Most High has given to our forefathers, to Abraham, to Moses, to Israel, has not changed. It's the same law as with Yeshua. It's the same law that he gave to his apostles. Well, we'll look at Isaiah chapter 29, verse 10. And it says, "For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered." So he's closed the prophet's eyes and gave us into slumber. But no, that's changed now. We in a new covenant. We have Christianity. We can see everything. We can see Jesus. We can see Jesus on the cross. If you can't see Jesus on the cross, you can have somebody wearing the cross and they can show you Jesus on the cross there. Really? Does it not matter that your forefathers, does it not matter that Yeshua, the Creator, it tells you to don't make any sign above or nothing below. Don't be decorating yourself with those idols, those images. Don't wear those crosses. Don't point to the stars of David. Do you not have eyes to see and ears to hear? Does not stir your soul to know that the Most High has told you not to do something and you still do it anyway? Being rebellious? Romans chapter 11 verse 8. As it was written, God gave them a spirit of stupor, eyes that could not see and ears that could not hear, to this very day. So Paul, the one that gave these Christians a whole new gospel, Paul, the one that gave them a whole new word, unfortunately for you right here, is quoting Isaiah. Not a new word, not a new gospel. As we know, the gospel is preached to them as well as to us. The good news of the Father's kingdom. The gospel had to be preached to them because the gospel is the law. Do you not know what the good news is? Can you not see? No more death. No more captivity. No more fast food. No more chemtrails. No more pesticides. Isn't that good news? Or do you long for those things still? Wishing you could have those things. Have your cake and eat it too. But we're going to stay in Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 6, verses 9 through 10. He said, "Go and tell these people, be ever hearing, but never understanding. Be ever seeing, but never perceiving. Make the heart of these people calloused. Make their ears dull and close their eyes. Otherwise they might see with their eyes and hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn and be healed." Isn't that what Yeshua said when we first started off? That you will be healed. No more diabetes. No more cancer. No more lung disease. No more high blood pressure, hypertension, spirits making you crazy. Only if you had eyes to see and ears to hear. Only if you knew there was still a dietary law. Only if you knew that your body was still a holy temple, that you're supposed to be making room for it so Yeshua could dwell inside you. Do you see that? Do you hear what the Spirit, what the Ruach is saying? If you do, you would keep his law. You would be searching out his precepts diligently. You would be asking him for your forgiveness in more ways that you can keep his word, his law, his commandments. But again, what I read is Old Testament. We are in this new covenant. Brother Adam, stop breaking me off with something we don't have to keep anymore. That's in the past. I heard what you said. Yeshua said it. I understand Isaiah said it. You understand you touched on the law, but this is this new covenant now. We got a new thing. But let's see what the Acts of the Apostles said. Let's see if the apostles knew what Isaiah knew, what Yeshua knew. So we look at Acts chapter 28, verses 26 to 27. Go to these people and say, you will be ever hearing, but never understanding. You will be ever seeing, but never perceiving. For these people, heart has become calloused. They hardly hear with their eyes. I'm going to start again. For these people's heart has become callous. They hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes and hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn, and I would heal them. So again, the same thing you see in the old, you see in the new. One law, one body, one commandment, forever and ever. But we turn away from what the Father has taught, what he continues to teach, that his commandments are righteous, just, they were given unto you. Do you have eyes, but fail to see? Do you have ears, but do not hear? Mark chapter 8, verse 17 through 19. And Yeshua, aware of this, said to them, why you discuss the fact that you have no bread? Do you not yet see or understand? Do you have a hardened heart? Having eyes, do you not see? And having ears, do you not hear? And do you have not remember when I broke the 5 loaves for 5,000? How many baskets full of broken pieces you picked up? They said to him, 12. So the same thing that was back in the olden days, we see in Deuteronomy 29, when their clothes wouldn't even get old. That with the small amount of bread and fish, he was still able to feed a multitude. So this is it in a nutshell. That the disciples, they slept with the Creator, stayed in the same room with him, ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner for years and years, prayed with him, cried, seen death and life, seen healing, seen him get crucified and rise up again. With all this they have seen, and with all that they have heard, they still have people preaching this day to not keep the commandments, knowing that the reason why that the Most High, that Yeshua rose again is because he kept all the commandments, knowing that the commandments were good for Abraham, so Yeshua taught. But yet today you still have people teaching you don't have to listen to that old law anymore. It's done away with. Can you not see that's a false prophet? Can you not hear the lies coming out of his two-forked tongue or her two-forked tongue? We see that homosexuality, the spirit of Sodom and Gomorrah is here in America. Is that what you really see? Because if you had eyes to see and ears to hear, you will understand that that spirit, the way that Christianity has went from one continent to the other continent to the next continent, that spirit of Sodom and Gomorrah is over all these nations now. You're looking at the image on the screen, this map, it shows you over and over in all these places the few countries that make homosexuality illegal. The abundance of different nations have already made it legal. Everywhere you see Christianity stop off and drop his little hat off, there you see the law of the Most High getting tossed to the side. Can you not see? Do you not have ears to hear? When they say they come in the name of Jesus, that we've come here to bring you salvation, that you can be saved today, but don't keep none of those commandments. One thing you have to know is know Jesus. Say you love him, but don't keep none of those commandments. You can see that Christianity spread throughout the globe. And just like I said, you see on that map where that spirit of death is following. That rebellious spirit that's touched down in all those places. Do you not see and hear what the Ruach is telling you? Do you not hear Yeshua telling you that he can't be around this sin? That this world itself must change in order for him to be back here with us, to tabernacle with us. That we can't have the wind being corrupted. That the spirit of the wind will have to change. And no more poison be in the air. That the spirit that he crossed across the sea and the oceans that we first seen in Genesis, that would have to change. All that pollution and death they put into our seas, that would have to change. That the land where they have mingled seed upon seed, that they have put GMO and pesticides throughout the earth, that the corn is not even corn no more. That if you go to your local grocery store, the seeds inside the vegetables you're buying, they can't even grow anything. Don't you know that what he says and what you need to hear and what you need to see, all that will have to change? That the planet you live on itself will have to change. So why do you keep false doctrine? Why don't you get on your knees and repent? Tell the Most High that you love him. That you'll keep his commandments. That you understand it's not good enough that just because someone told you that the Most High had some woolly hair and he was black, that now makes you somewhat saved. No. Turn back to his law. Turn back to his will and his way. There is something that is so precious, and it's deliverance. You'll find deliverance in the name Yeshua. You'll find deliverance in the word. And we know that his law is the word. Ask the Most High to guide you, to teach you, and instruct you in all truth. With that, I am closing. That if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, that you'll be listening to the law. And every day that you wake up from this day forward until your last will be to keep the commandments. It will be to teach the commandments and to give them to anybody that have eyes and ears to hear themselves. That Yeshua is coming back. He's going to change everything that's on this planet. No more cars giving out pollution. No more going to the DMV to make sure your car pass smog. I'm going to tell you straight up here now, ain't no car going to pass smog when Shai comes. You won't have no more pollution. But you will have what is perfect. And I'll be the Creator and the Most High. Shalom, Israel.